fight's there. He punches him. All right, there's the kill. Now they'll just go for this tombstone as well as the Tier 1 tower. Though up top, some split pushing from Fnatic. Looks like Mushi and KYXY will secure this Tier 2.
I actually do kind of like the mirror image to kill zombies, because it's just more things that can take zombies and kill them. That's kind of cool. Yeah, extra attack points, basically. Like Mid tower looks like it's going to go down afterwards. They did lose their Tier 2 top. Mushi TPing back. He's still got a lot of Dragon Form. This is looking scary for Complexity. Oh, great stun on top of Swindle Melons. Fly's thinking about ulting, but he's holding it together.
Swindle does have an ulti here as well. He could connect on all three if they want to burn it. There's the call down. Connects on two, and good call to use the song for this one. I think Swindle's just going to TP home. Fly does not have a TP, but should still be able to make it out.
Oh, Enigma gets a kill on Centaur? What?
Okay, well that was...
I guess so, with Moon Meander's help. Yeah, it looks like they did a full combo. He didn't black hole that or anything.
No, it's still on cooldown from before, so...
Alright, so level 8 now on Z-Freak. He's got 1,800 gold. Does he go for the Blink? Does he go for the mech?
Oh, Midas Veno.
Does Razor make the mech? He's got an item coming. Gem on Fly? What an early gem. 11
minutes in. Yeah, no detection. They just... Or, pardon me, no Invis Heroes. All they want is map control right now.
And I like Mushi's plan here. He says, we're having trouble defending split push. We're ahead, but we're still getting towers killed. I need a catch item, and it's going to be a Blink Dagger. So he's going to be able to just jump on the heroes he needs to go on and kill them right away. And the hero that he probably is going to want to kill at the start of the fights is going to be either Veno or Enigma. Yep. Maybe even Naga Siren to prevent the song.
Yeah, the Enigma definitely that likely candidate, though. Mech may be the choice. Oh, yep, here it is. It's going on Z-Freak. He's got the 2 core pieces and just about 50 gold away from the recipe. So still a great mech timing despite that slow start.
So what does Ziz build? Probably BKB Rush, I think. There's a lot of magic damage on the enemy team.
Yeah.
Or SNY is usually the other alternate to a mech. They're smoking around mid. Look, they're headed for the jungle, though. Look, they know exactly where Swindle Melons is. There's literally a ward right there. And that is going to be an easy kill.
Poor Swindle. Yep. He's got this army of wards. They're all blended in with that Observer. And again, the Centaur falls in the bottom lane. The exact same combo. If only we could catch it here, Purge.
We suck. There was probably Snowball into Midnight Pulse. He didn't even use Malefice.
Like, didn't even use Black Hole.
Makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, Midnight Pulse does a huge amount of pure damage, and Centaur's got a lot of HP, so they're able to reflect a lot. They do de-ward that Observer Ward, or it has died.
That is the perfect hero to keep killing, though. He's got a lot of unreliable gold, of course, pulling towards that Blink Dagger. This is the ideal time to shut him down. Now Ziz dove in the mid lane. Nice ult from Ketchikimba. Ziz almost lives, but just not quite. Walrus punch in, trying to find some more kills, but Moon can't quite do it alone. Z-Freak's here. He's got the Black Hole at the ready, but only Brown Boots. KYXY locked out again. Moon Meander finding the Ice Shards to make this happen. A 1-for-1 now, and it's Complexity on the aggressive. Johnny moves into the Flesh Golem. Ice Shards again, but don't quite block him out. Now the Snowball in. Fly trying to get in place for the Ensnare. Johnny actually turns to put on those boxing gloves, and they don't cost him his life. He uses the Soul Rip, but just buys him a little bit of time. The rest of Complexity will converge. Swindle's there with the Venomous Gale to ensure that they get this kill. A 2-for-1 as Complexity turn it around.
Man, this early gem on Fly is doing so much work. I was curious how that Observer died. If you have a gem on an illusion, they also can see the wards. So he just manta splits or mirror images and sends his illusions across the map and checks all the spots. And he's killed all the Observer wards that Fnatic has. And you saw from last game how Observer ward and vision, how much vision they want to play with.
This is Fnatic's vision right now. They've got nothing.
And that just makes it so much harder to avoid ganks, and it's so much easier for Complexity to farm everywhere. The style they want to do, map control and to farm everything. Yeah, you'll lose somebody eventually due to smoke ganks, but everybody else is farming at the same time, so you don't lose that much advantage.
Yep. Complexity still kind of grouped up in the mid here. As long as they have this Black Hole available, they'll be looking to take a fight or at least be open to the idea of it. Grouped up as 5 once more. Mech cooled down at the ready as Tier 2 Tower will be under siege.
And it looks like they're doing the old wraparound. The full wraparound, actually. They're anticipating it from the left, so if they go all the way from the back, I mean, there's Plague Wards up, but the smoke's obviously going to help with that.
Yep, Plague Ward's down. This is Complexity's vision right now, folks. They'll see it right away, though. Mushi blinks in, goes right onto Z-Freak with the Dragon Tail. Tombstone comes down, but Song of the Siren resets. Call down doing a lot of damage, forces Z-Freak to mech, but now they'll set up the Midnight Pulse. Black Hole should be on 2. That's right, Johnny and Mushi in a lot of trouble. Poison Nova to boot. Z-Freak dies first, but sets it up for his team to clean house.
Oh, they're
or do they? The ultimate from Ketchikimba does a lot of damage, but the Poison Nova just brings them all too low. Complexity take heavy casualties, but they will just barely take the fight. Johnny lives.
He's got an urn. He's fine now.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe. Oh, is he not paying attention? Ooh, 7 HP.
Ooh. Okay. So 4 for 4. I thought that fight would go well for Complexity. But in the end, it's a break even.
It was a rough start. The call down hit everybody. They were forced to mech just to put them from like 30% HP to 50%. And the black hole is obviously great, but the opposite would have been awesome. If they were able to initiate like that before the call down happened, they would have been absolutely fine. But the CM's positioning was just amazing there. And the only reason they lost that fight was because the Veno was level 2 and it did so much damage. And that's one of the value out of the Midas, is that if you get an Ags on Veno, it gives you an extra level of Aghanims, basically. But by buying the Midas, he gets farm, and he guaranteed that level 2 that did a huge amount of damage. 58 times 14. That's a massive amount of magic damage early on in this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And there's still no BKBs on the side of Fnatic, and none really that close. Mushi now has an Ogre Club, but no other pieces. KYXY went for the San. She's going to go S and Y instead of a BKB rush. So that Poison Nova will do a hell of a lot of damage, as we saw in that last fight. Centaur does secure his Blink Dagger, though, during the aftermath. So that's a big pickup for Fnatic. And Swindle will go for the Aghanim Scepter. Point booster now with another 1,000 gold in the bank.
Ooh, I like what Ohio did here. He bought the Blink Dagger, and then he's like, oh, I can farm this creep wave. So he sells it back. That way his opponents don't see it. And then he goes back to purchase it again. Small little smart thing. But it's really good he has this. If you thought about how the last fight started, it was Dragonite blinking in first, stunning, and then he kind of had to back off because he got sapped. But if you have a Centaur with a blink as well, you can very seriously kill somebody, and preferably for them, the Naga Siren.
Yeah, that's a great point. Midnight Pulse comes down to try and delay the push at this Tier 1 tower bottom. Fnatic have 4. There's Ohio just hanging out in the mid lane, perhaps trying to set up onto Swindle, but won't be the easiest kill. Now Fnatic will just back
TP's
out.
come.
They force out a glyph, and
Dragonite's still TPing. There he goes.
Where are they? Oh, okay, going on to the Swindle. There we go. So they'll finish off the Venomancer.
Got his ult off.
Yeah, but they don't finish off that Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Is there...
I think he kills Centaur here, definitely. Centaur's dead. Mushi...
Is he actually?
He's got to bottle it right.
Oh, I think he's okay.
Okay,
right,
the bottle saves
helps.
him. Nicely done. They both got quite low, though.
Yep, still continuing to show off the power of the Venomancer. Now the second Midas for Complexity. Ziz picks it up.
Okay. You know what? I like that a lot because he's really far behind this game. He's died a lot. He's tanked a lot of ganks. And he's not going mech, so that's not the obvious build. And a lot of times when they play tanky heroes like Razor or Viper, Razor can obviously farm better than Viper, but usually, sometimes they build mech, or I'm sorry, the Midas immediately after the mech. That way they can guarantee their late game farm a bit better. And considering that they do play this playstyle where they farm super late, and they can definitely stop fights and stop pushes with Gem and Naga Siren, might as well aim for the bigger late game items, because all he's got to do is outcarry a gyro, and it's hard to do that with just the base items on Razor, especially when you're this far behind. So I think this is a good choice.
Sea Freak also holding on to a lot of gold. He's got about 2,800 right now, just Brown Boots mech. We'll see if he goes BKB, Blink, what his options are here.
Needs HP, that's for sure. He's only sitting on 967. Pipe would be okay as well.
Oh, yeah.
Something, just general tanky items would be great.
I feel like BKB is just the play, though. That way you don't have to worry about the call down, don't have to worry about the Dragon Tail as much, or even the CM ulti. You can just charge in there and get off the black hole that he wants.
Yeah, and it's guaranteed because you can set it up with a Naga Sleep. He's going to guarantee, they'll wait to use the Naga Sleep if possible until 2 or 3 heroes are grouped.
Yeah.
And if they are, it's a guaranteed black hole, and the only thing that's going to mess it up is Dragonite on the outside, maybe a Centaur on the outside, or Crystal Maiden. So if he does get a BKB, immediately guarantees a full duration black hole with level 4 Midnight Pulse, and that means dead heroes in most cases.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ketchik Imba has himself a Shadow Amulet, so the Glimmer Capes are starting to come about. Looks like Fly will be working on one of his own. He's now got his Cloak and about 1,500 gold pulled up. Fnatic grouping up as 5 in the mid lane here, though. They want to siege off the backside of this Elder Dragon form. And we'll see if Complexity mount a defense. They do have a black hole ready and waiting, though. Right now, Swindle is split pushing in the side lane, still about 1,200 away from his Aghanims. I don't think Complexity really want to fight quite yet, if they don't have to.
Swindle is not TPing. So I think they're just going to defend and show the force here. There's the TP.
Okay.
No sleep from Naga.
Ohio's pretty far out of position now to take a fight, so Fnatic will just back out. And pretty easy defense from Complexity, honestly. They didn't even have to glyph, and tower stays standing. Now they smoke under the tower, and they'll try to bait with Swindle in the mid.
That might have gotten spotted by this Observer Ward, but I haven't seen any pings from Fnatic, and their movement seems like they didn't notice. So they would have had to have their camera on the ward positioning for them to see
It's a pretty small sliver in here that gives you the intel. Is it a smoke into Roche? It sure is.
Interesting.
Fnatic have absolutely no clue. Looking at their vision here, they have no way to confirm it, and they don't seem all that suspicious.
It's not the fastest because they don't have a medallion, but they do have Riptide, which is also -5 armor. So I guess this will actually die at a decent pace, and with the Plague Wards up, like, there's enough things holding the lanes back that I'm not so sure that Fnatic will notice. But they do have a timing window. This is a slow Roshan, in my opinion.
Complexity are also pretty well suited to take a fight in the pit. Worst case, they can still always just poison Nova, get a black hole, and do quite a bit of damage. And
yeah.
So it's not that easy for Fnatic to come in and just steal the Roche. Sure, they could try to put up a fight, but it would be a risk from their perspective as well. So seems it will pay off for Complexity. Roche will go down, and they give that Aegis and the Immortal to their Razor. Much needed, as he is still rather squishy.
I don't think Fnatic knew about that. I mean, maybe they did, because as they approach Roche Pit, a sleep could really guarantee a 5-man black hole or something. And there's the BKB on Enigma. Absolutely obvious. He doesn't need to go for a Blink Dagger this game because of the fact that there is a Naga setup. Yeah. But this just gets scarier and scarier for Fnatic because Z-Freak's not going to slow down his farm. He's going to have BKB. He could even go Refresher afterwards and just do a double black hole on like 2 people. He could grab an Aghanims and have a double Midnight Pulse. Like that's 5% of your max HP times 2. That's 10% per second. And black hole does a lot. So you're guaranteeing like half of everybody's HP and the black hole dies. Goes away just from Enigma alone. Like that is amazing, and I feel like that might be worth getting here.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm so glad they changed Black Hole to just be consistent damage per second now, rather than the way it used to be, where you took more damage the closer you were. It made sense conceptually once you cross that event horizon. That you're closer to the hole, you take more damage, but. This just makes more sense, I think, with the way the heroes play.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'd rather catch as many people as possible rather than do like slightly more damage to one guy.
Yeah.
So BKB now for Dragon Knight, a very common item build for this hero. He really needs magic immunity at some point. He's already tanky, just needs to reduce the magic damage done to him. So he also, the only thing scary about this though is that now if there's a Naga sleep, he won't be affected from it, which is good and bad. He's trying to kill the Naga, it's a very good thing. He's actually going to initiate on here, has to pop his BKB. Will he black hole this? Oh, they Walrus punch it. They don't have to black hole it.
They're going to continue going on here. Now the Stampede gets forced out. They won't kill Mushi here, but Complexity have to be happy with that. Stampede on cooldown for the next minute. Not the biggest cooldown, but a 10-second BKB used as defensively as possible there. That's good news.
Yeah, it really is. They could just go for the push now. They didn't commit anything to that. I mean, they maybe could have just black holed it, but that was only going to waste some of the BKB duration. I think that was by far the better play there. Good play from Z-Freak not to go for that impulse.
And now it's on cooldown for a minute. That's the other drawback to that 10-second charge. It has a pretty lengthy cooldown there. So they'll be able to siege this tower, and they know that the Dragon Knight can't really fight, or at least doesn't want to. Split pushing up top. Gyrocopter does have a TP scroll. Oh.
They don't have vision. Gale misses as well.
Okay, good use of the Glimmer Cape there from the Crystal Maiden. Ketchy Gimba now blocked out by the Ice Shards. Moonmander coming in. He wants that Walrus punch, but he can't quite get his hook on that Crystal Maiden. Now Ohio comes in. Song of the Siren to interrupt it.
They can grab 2. Looks like supports. There's the BKB. BKB a little early.
Going for 3. He gets 2. Call down, but it's just not going to matter. Both Ketchy Gimba and Johnny evaporate inside the event horizon. Now Mushi trying to run for it in the Elder Dragon form. His BKB still on cooldown from earlier. He'll stand his ground. It's the end of the Aegis, but now Z-Freak on the run, still alive, but the homing missile trying to chase him down. Swindle, as well as Z-Freak and Fly, all taken out by the Gyro Centaur combo. It ends up being a much better fight for Fnatic than it seemed at the beginning.
Yeah, that was so good for them. Considering how that started, like with the black hole setup, I think the reason it went well is because those were just supports. You know, they didn't get a Tombstone or a Flesh Golem off or any of CM's abilities, but they got to initiate with Centaur. He got to Stampede.
Did have to buy back though. That is one key thing there.
That makes a lot of sense because I felt like he initiated multiple times, and that was why.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. So I did miss the buyback during the fight. So that does tip the scales a little bit. Still a great fight for Fnatic, but